Dear jury, dear audience, and dear Natasha Machado, thanks for joining us online. We are happy to present a project mandated by World Athletics on the topic, the global governance of mountain and trail running. That's a follow-up study. First, let me introduce the team with whom we tackled the project, Dani Fang, Anton Fantoli, and Fabiola Romero, and myself, Ekaterina Kuratova. We will be taking you through these key points of our presentation, starting with the timeline of mountain and trail running. So the discipline itself, it's one of the fastest growing discipline in the world, endurance discipline in the world. It's been shaped through different key milestones. It began in 1984 with foundation of World Mountain Running Association, giving mountain running its first formal international structure. Then in 2013, International Trail Running Association was founded by athletes, organizers, and brands in order to provide the global community voice, certification, and ranking system for athletes. In 2015, it was a major turning point for the discipline because World Athletics officially codified the discipline and took it under its governance umbrella. Then our colleague from 2018, they conducted the same theme initial study, and they concluded with three main challenges, which we will discuss a bit later. Later on, in 2020, all spheres of life, they were affected by COVID. At the same time, COVID helped some outdoor sports to reinforce the participation. And here we are with our follow-up study, where we assessed how far the governance and development of the discipline have progressed, and what are the prospects for real global development of the discipline. So coming back to the study takes away of 2018, the group identified three main challenges. The first one, fragmented governments. There was lack of clear definition between mountain, trail, and ultra running disciplines, overlapping governing bodies without no single point of contact, limited recognition of World Athletics' role in all the discipline development, and even sponsors and some other federations, they were restricting athletes to participate in competition. The second one is limited technical expertise. Many member federations, they lacked know-how to organize trail national championships, and other stakeholders, they were dissatisfied with existing technical regulations back then. And the third one is strong European focus. So mountain and trail running discipline was Eurocentric, which limited participation and performance of athletes from different regions at world championships.
Thank you, Katerina. Moving into our work for 2025, our client challenged us with these four different objectives. The first one being to assess the adoption of the rules, regulation, and the different competitive formats from the member federation from 2018 till today in 2025. Secondly, we had to measure how motivated member federations are toward the development of the discipline. Then we also had to identify the different trends that took place between 2018 and 2025, understanding how the discipline is evolving and toward which landscape it could grow. And finally, thanks to our survey, we had to come up as well with guidelines and recommendations. To achieve that, we follow the following methodology. Starting by deep reading the report of 2018, understanding how it was created, what was the methodology, and coming up with our own survey in 2025. For this project, we identified 7 different sections, and these 7 different sections help us understand the challenges, opportunities, as well as gather data in a way that will benefit our recommendation. Once we created our survey, with the help of World Athletics, it has been sent to all member federations, so 214. Out of that, 58 member federations answered our survey fully, making an answer rate of around 27%. Once we had all the data, we gather them, clean them, and get them ready to come up with our recommendation and findings. So let's jump into our findings with Fabiola.
Thank you, Quentin. So having presented our methodology, now we go to the central part of the presentation, which are the findings. We divided them into four sections, and we're going to start with challenges. The first one is that some regions lack the proper geography or terrain for the sport. The second is the impact of COVID-19, which was both positive and negative. Positive because it acted as a growth catalyst, but negative because it was also a financial barrier. Then the non-Olympic status is also an important thing that should be considered because it restricts the access to the institutional and funding support. And talking about funding, this is cited by 81% of the federations. The insufficient funding is the main obstacle, and they recognize it as a very important thing that should be addressed. And finally, the expertise is something they should also evaluate more because they have very limited technical knowledge, and also the bureaucratic processes are slowing down the development of the sport.
The second key finding is member federations' involvement in the discipline development. So a major step forward was noticed through our study. Now nearly 90% of member federations are involved in development of mountain and trail running discipline. 90% out of all federations that responded to our survey. That's important to know. The main focus remains on essentials: athlete selection, national event organization, and race calendar maintenance. But what we've seen that development gaps remain the same. We see less emphasis on youth development, education, and research, which suggests that member federations, they emphasize on international representations rather than on domestic growth of the discipline.
Moving to governance and athletes, these four areas were identified. The first one being our athlete affiliation. It's important to note that from our member federation, half of them are answering that their elite athletes are formally affiliated with the federation, meaning that there is still like 50% average of member federation who have some connection with elite athlete or do not have any elite athlete or athlete affiliated with the federation. So here we identify one important step. And we all know how important it is to be affiliated with the federation, as this is the crucial link linking the discipline world athletics to the athlete. Secondly, for financial support, here from the survey, we had like 4 quarters. A quarter, 25% of the federation answer us that they are providing full funding to the athletes when they are going to international competition. So they are providing a crucial help to athletes. 25% of them are partially funding them and providing help in a financial way. 25% of them are not helping the athlete financially. And the final 25% do simply not participate in the international events. For regulation, we have seen that 36 federations, so 36 out of the 58, are following strictly like the recommendation, especially the Rule 57 of World Athletics. So this Rule 57 was originates from the merge of mountain and trail running together, and it's this rule that provide all the guidelines throughout the different disciplines, the standards, the distance, and so on. So here there is still a challenge to harmonize all the standards to every member federation. Lastly, for event hosting, so that is a crucial point as well, out of our 58 member federation, 9 of them mention a strong willingness to organize the upcoming international event that can be either a world or a continental championship.
Thank you, teams. So moving to the opportunity for growth. According to the survey results, we noticed we have several positive outcomes need to be addressed. So first of all, we are facing more dynamic marketing because we have about 68% of people who become more active into outdoor sports after COVID. And the second one is 88% of member federations see a chance to grow influence in off-road discipline. And also 86% will attracting new participants as a primary strategy. So to address the three positive outcomes, we designed two core values for developing mountain and trail running. So the primary one is environmental connection. So as you know, mountain and trail running is a relative low-cost sport, which has a strong connection with nature and sustainability. So this connection helps to integrate environmental protection into mountain and trail running. So it's easy to promote this trendy and innovative idea to public. In the end, mountain and trail running will expand their influence through promoting the environmental awareness and sustainability. The next one is be more innovative. So people are always attracted by new competition or sports. And so diversifying competition formats become more essential. So designing running distance and the difficulty level to suit for different group of people will better promote this like a new sport and to promote the accessibility and the popularity. Meanwhile, introduce membership fees and raise registration fees could be a potential opportunity for creating income for the member federations. Moving to the next slides, we are going to introduce the comparison between 2018 and 2025. Since ours is a follow-up study, so we pick up three main indicators from our key finding to compare with the outcome from 2018. So to highlight the trend or the remaining challenges or the process they did. The first comparison we have is member federation involvement. So even though the absolute number of survey responding has declined, but we still have about 90% member federation are involved into mountain and trail running. So it means better. Better like engagement level compared with before 69% in 2018. Moving to the next one is whether the member federation organizing national championships. So in this one, I need to explain a little bit because in 2018 data, 65 member federation shows the federation or the city actually did the championships. Plus, the federation or city want to hold the championships in the future. And in the other hand, in 2025, our survey is separated. So as you can see, there are 43 member federation in gray column shows they actually did the championships, whether they are combined with another discipline or individually. And the remaining 29 federation, which you can see in the red column, they still express interest to hold championships. So overall, the total number is slightly higher than the previous one. So after the comparison, we are able to conclude some of the federation are into the willingness, into the action. So which is a good sign. However, for the past 7 years, beside of and in 2021, they are holding the mountain and trail running championships. All other championships are holding in the holding area are located in Europe. So this indicates mountain and trail running still a Europe-dominated sport. And the final comparison we did is financial support. As you see, the data is quite low for the commercialization in this sport, but all the other data review mountain and trail running has gained a significant traction in past few years. We have observed they have allowed sport major brand like Hoka and Salomon. They are making substantial investment into this sport. So in this situation, we are reasonably to infer most of the sponsor resources are linked into large-scale commercial events, such as UTMB race, and which just makes sense because they are providing like more media exposure and commercial visibility. So therefore, the crucial challenge for World Athletics, we think, is reorganize better influence composition to attract more exposure and investment, plus with the participation.
Thank you, Danny. So based on our findings, we have 6 key recommendations. And the first one is that it is important to strengthen the technical capacity by providing educational programs, training the referees, and invest also in more research. The second would be to harmonize the regulation to ensure a greater alignment with World Athletics rules. The third would be that it is important to enhance the internal development by also focusing on youth programs in the national championships and also in supporting the athletes. Then we go to the funding gaps. It is important to address this one because as I mentioned before, 81% of the member federation cited that they don't have the sufficient fund. It is important to generate different or diversify different revenue streams. So the collaboration among member federation is important, so that way they can share best practices and also overcome common challenges. Lastly, it is important to leverage the sport by having outdoor marketing strategies, so most people can participate in the sport and also have make it more attractive for sponsorship.
Lastly, we want to highlight that mountain and trail running as a discipline is growing rapidly, but this growth comes from 2 different forces: federations bringing legitimacy and standards, and private organizers driving innovation, visibility, and commercialization of the sport. This duality brings both opportunities and challenges, especially around regulation and safety domains. Looking ahead, the potential for growth is huge, with World Athletics playing position as playing a global coordination role for the development of the discipline. The potential is the opportunity lies in closer collaboration between all stakeholders, World Athletics, member federations, associations aiming at developing the discipline, race organizers, and even athletes. Nowadays, we can say that the current landscape shows that the development is still in the hands of private organizers, which kind of resemble the early stages of road running. And the key insight would be that mountain and trail running has its unique appeal of special spirit connection with nature, and in a sense even connection with ancient humankind nature, which brings this unique appeal, commercial potential, and real avenues for global growth. Thank you, and we are welcoming your questions and comments.